everyone, it's me, Peachy Pet Paradise, and today's video is safe and unsafe litters for rats. So for those of you who are currently litter training your rats, or for those who have litter trained rats, you may be wanting to know the safe litters to use and the unsafe ones you should avoid. It is important you pick the right litter for the safety of your rats, so I'm going to inform you on this, and I hope you find this helpful. But first, let's talk about what makes a good rat litter. So a good litter consists of no dust. Now it's essential the litter is very low on dust. I understand it's impossible to find any litter or bedding that is dust free, but it's not impossible to find one that is virtually dust free. So try and find one that is very low on dust if you can. Rats do have very sensitive respiratory systems, and even a small amount of dust will irritate them, which can cause respiratory problems. So make sure it's virtually dust-free litter. Next is good odour control. You don't want to buy a litter that's going to start smelling within the next 2 days. You want one that's going to last a whole week without smelling, so pick one with guaranteed good odour control performance. It will be very beneficial. Obviously you'll need to clean out your litter trays a few times a week along with that. Highly absorbent. Your rats are going to be using the litter as their toilet, so you will want something that will absorb the wee well. So you wouldn't want to go for something like fleece, for instance, as this is not at all absorbent or good with odour control. The wee would just sit on top and make mess, it will smell very easily, and it won't do a job a litter should. But if you think about it, it wouldn't, because fleece is not litter and it's not designed for weeing on. Now for type of form. Pellet forms are best. They carry less dust compared to soft types, so I'm going to go through lots of pellet types mostly, but you can use some soft beddings if you have no pelleted litter available, so I'll give you a couple of soft types to use as well. And that's what makes a good rat litter. So now you know what a good rat litter consists of, it's just a matter of picking a safe litter and avoiding the unsafe. So let's get on to the safe litters. First up is Back to Nature. This is a recycled paper pellet form and is sold in Europe. It's virtually dust-free, very absorbent, and has good odour control. Next is Fresh News. This is a recycled paper pellet form and is sold in Europe, US and Canada. This has been known as a good litter for rats. It's fairly low on dust, very absorbent and good with odour control. Another one is Smart Bed's Burgess XL Bedding and Litter. This is made of straw hose dust, which has been extracted and then compressed into a pellet. It's available in Europe. It's virtually dust-free, extremely absorbent, and it states to have amazing odour control. Another one is Carefresh Litter Plus. This is mostly a paper pellet form, but it has some pieces of Carefresh mixed in. It's sold in Europe, US and Canada. It's fairly dust-free, very absorbent, and has great odour control. Another one is Aspen Supreme. This is a blend of aspen wood. There is no pine or cedar in it, so it's safe. It's fairly dust-free, has very good absorbency, claims to resist mould growth, and has great odour control. For a ferret litter, you can use Marshall Premium Ferret Litter. This is a recycled paper pellet form and is sold outside Europe. It's fairly dust-free, highly absorbent, and has good odour control. You can also use cat litters. Some good ones I know of are BioCatalyt. This is a paper-based material and it's sold in Europe. It's virtually dust-free, very absorbent, and good with odour control. Next is Breeder Select Litter. This is a paper pellet form and is sold in Europe. This is similar to Back to Nature, the way it's been processed, and it's by the same company. Now this should only be used as a litter and not bedding, because the pellets are quite hard for rats' feet, and this is because they're designed for cats' feet. But this would be okay just to use as a litter base and not bedding. So this is virtually dust-free, very absorbent, and has great odour control. Another one is Yesterday's News. This is a paper pellet form. It's available in Europe, US and Canada. It's virtually dust-free, very absorbent, and great with odour control. Another one is Gentle Touch 100% all-natural cat litter. This is an aspen wood pellet, and this litter has a lot of pros. It's very good odour control, fragrance and chemical free, low in dust, no phenols that are found in pine and cedar, so it's perfectly safe to use. And the last of the safe cat litter is Smart Bed's Litter for Cats. It's a straw pellet form and it's available in Europe. Again, for the same reasons as the small animal XL one, it's virtually dust-free, extremely absorbent, and has great odour control. So now onto soft beddings you can use as litter instead of pellet form litters. First up is Carefresh Ultra. This is a paper pulp form. It's sold in Europe, US and Canada. This one of Carefresh seems to be most free of dust compared to the others, so that's why I'm allowing this one. Although very expensive, it's fairly dust-free, very absorbent, and good with odour control. Next is Aspen Shavings. This is aspen wood formed into shavings. These are sold in Europe, US and Canada. They are fairly dust-free, very absorbent, and great with odour control. Next is KT Clean & Cozy Bedding. This is a paper-based bedding, and this is available in Europe, US and Canada. It's fairly dust-free, very absorbent, and claims to have outstanding odour control, which is great. So now onto the unsafe litters. So first up is any clay or clumping litters. These tend to be very dusty, so will irritate rats' respiratory systems, which can damage them and could very well cause respiratory problems. They also contain agents which are designed to make the litter sticky when they wee on it. So this is not something you want to get in rats' eyes, nose, lungs, and even their digestive system. It will cause major problems. So this stuff is very unsafe, and avoid any types that state clay or clumping. Next is pine and cedar. So pine and cedar is very harmful for rats in general. So on the screen here I have some pine and cedar litters and beddings. So cedar contains harmful oils and chemicals which can damage rats' respiratory systems and cause breathing problems. And for pine, this too contains harmful chemicals which are unsafe for rats, and it also has a scent which can irritate rats' respiratory systems. So please do not use it, and this goes for both litter and bedding. Another one is the KT Soft Granule Bedding. This is a very dusty form of bedding, so it's very bad for rats' sensitive respiratory systems, so please avoid using it. Then we have corn cob bedding. This is extremely unsafe as bedding and litter for rats. It's very dusty, it can cause urinary tract infections, it has high fungal contaminants, and it can cause lung scarring. When used for weeing on, corn cob bedding tends to rot and grow mould, causing a nasty odour, which can increase in bacteria. So it's very unsafe to use for both bedding and litter. And the last of the unsafe is any scented beddings and litters. So here on the screen, I have some small animal scented beddings and scented litters. Although these would bring a nice smell to your litter trays, they have added perfumes to help mask odours, and the fumes and the scent are too strong for rats' respiratory systems, so each time they use the litter tray, they will be breathing in all the fumes, so that could definitely damage their respiratory systems, so you're going to want to avoid any scented beddings and litters. So that's the video on safe and unsafe litters for rats. I hope you found this very helpful by learning about the safe litters and the litters you should avoid for your rats. Any comments or questions, leave them down below. If you like our videos and want to see more, then go subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, then don't forget to hit that like button, and we'll see you next time. Bye!